Hi, friends. I trust you're good. You're doing great. I've had people ask from me, or I've had people share with me that I have a vision to do this and that. I also want to start an NGO just like yours. I want to help people. I want to do this. I am very open to helping people to start this work because there's a lot to be done. My sisters, my brothers, there is a lot of work. Hmm. The harvest is why laborers are few. There are a lot of things to be done. I often tell people when they reach out to me that there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot. For us working with young mothers, for us dealing with young mothers, teenage pregnant girls, teenagers, we believe, for me personally, I believe that more people should rise and, you know, focus on this too, as we have people focus on people who are rape victims, those who are dealing with those that are dealing with drugs and all that. We have NGOs that focus on widows, NGOs that focus on teenage girls. We have NGOs that focus on helping those who have gone into drugs and all that. Also, we need more people to rise and focus on these young mothers and bringing them back, helping them get back on their feet. So I often tell people that there's a lot of work in this department, and in all that department, I'm willing to help and just help people get to understand how they should start and all that. But there was something that I listened to one day, and from DDK. DDK was ministry, and she said something very profound. She said that sometimes when God gives you a vision, sometimes the vision is not for you to start immediately. Some is for you to probably share with somebody, and the person takes it up. And some is for you to learn from people doing that already. Mm, do you get what I'm saying? Some are for you to start immediately. And when she said that, I was like, wow, so profound, so blue. NGO or helping people, it's not a tea party. That's the truth. When you want to help people, it requires passion, requires love, it requires commitment, requires money, funds. It requires you putting aside it requires you setting aside your your own kind of personal, for me personally, I don't like reaching out to people and telling them I need this, I need that. But because of this NGO, because I know I can't do this alone, I had to start reaching out to people. Can you please help us? Can you please help raise this fund? Do you know? So it requires you getting out of your shell and just doing things out of the norm that you always do. It requires you going out of your way. It requires you, it takes a whole lot. Sometimes you might just what you have. It has happened several times to me that what I have with me is just little, and I'll get a call from one of the young mothers that this one I'm not eating. You will sacrifice, so it comes with you would also sacrifice. It comes with a whole lot of, and aside all that, there's also putting structure in it if you really want to do something excellent. So I often share this with people that comes to me and say that I want to also start something like this. I have this one and all that excellent. So I often share this with people that comes to me and say that I want to also start something like this. I have this one and all that. And I used to share my story of being part of an NGO that helps the aged. And the truth is when this person reached out to me that he would like me to be part of, I was like, nah, I grew up with any of my grandmas. So I'm not familiar with old people. In fact, I had one that I was really, really scared of. And, that experience, I'm not somebody who would see an aged person and would want to move close. Not that it's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's just I'm not familiar with people that are old and all that. But it came to me and I just had the nudge to oblige, and I said, it's God's work, let me do it. I can remember where I was when I told him, okay, I will do it. And we began, and that's joining that foundation helped me to become very passionate with old people. I see them in a taxi. I want to pay their fare. They want to cross the main road. I want to help them cross. They carry something. I want to help them carry. It opened my eyes to a compassion for the aged. that I didn't know I have, that I didn't have, helped me build that. Then secondly, I learned a whole lot from that foundation. I learned how to the importance of registration, the importance of having a bank account, a corporate bank account, the importance of putting structure, having board of directors, having advisory boards, raising funds, going for outreaches. So this shaped my mind. This helped me to know what I want to put in place starting up this one, even though I had help from Mr. Tunde Rema. He helped me know that this I have to put in place. This has to be in place. This has to be done before this can be done. It really helped me. I will not lie. That foundation that I had really helped me. And of course, at that time, I never knew I was going to have an NGO as this. I never knew I was going to have an NGO. That's the truth. But God took me through that process. Oftentimes I share this story with people who reach out to me that sometimes you are still in school and you want to start something. You can start, you know, you can start little, but at the same time, you can learn from people who are already doing this. You can volunteer to be part of an NGO. Look at what they do, look at how they're doing it, look at what they put in place and all that. Because we are just 2 years into, I know things we've had to do, sacrifices we've had to make, and all that. And there's another place of people management in running an NGO like this. People can say yes, yes, this is a very beautiful vision. I want to be part of it, I want to volunteer, and they will volunteer and you still be the truth is when your vision when this starts, you'll be the one to still carry the responsibility. People might buy into yes, I want to support them, but they will not carry it as much as you carry. You have to carry it on your head by yourself. It is when you carry it that they will know, oh, let us also help out, even though they are volunteers. They are volunteers, they are not getting paid. Do you get what I'm saying? So I remembered when we started and I posted on my status that I want to start this and that, and I explained and I said anyone who would like to volunteer should reach out. I had a few of my friends who reached out to me and said, I just want to be this is beautiful and all. And I remembered I would always like put it down. I would always send messages on the page. I would share ideas with them, hoping to get a response, just to hoping to, just to just oppose ideas and get response, know the better way to do this. But I would not get response. I was getting frustrated already. And I remember in December I was sending messages that in January we're about to start school outreach, we have to plan, we have to do this. And I was like, you people are not responding. Is this what I was complaining? And while I sat in the system typing that message, Holy Spirit just whispered into my ears that you know that if this is your business, you will not do it like this. Ah, that word struck me to my bone marrow. It struck me. I know myself. I know that if I ask you to do something, I want you to do it excellently. I want you to deliver the best. I'll be on your neck. This is God's work. I am just still pampering. I immediately I stood up and I told my husband, I started ranting at this one, that one has been happening since I posted and this one, that they're no response. I'm going to send a message that I'm going to close down the group and all that. And my husband said, okay, this is how you should structure the message and all that. So I sent a message to the group and I said, thank you for, I know you joined, you volunteered to be part of this because you love me and this, and you want to help, you want to support me. But I need people who will be able to, will dedicate their time, be able to dedicate fully to this NGO because this is God's work and I don't joke with God's work. I don't want to joke with God's work. I don't want to do that. I should explain myself. And I said I was going to delete the group. Any one of them who is still interested and is ready to do the work should send me a message, and I deleted the group. And by December, January, I spoke to a new set of people that were like, yeah, wow, yeah, this is beautiful. And they joined. Even though they like me, when we have outreaches, they are all out, they help me, but they still work on the ground. I still carry 70% of the responsibility. Sometimes I still have to do this, do that by myself, have to pull them up. Please, I have to intentionally delegate that. Okay, you be the one handling this, please. I'll have to follow up. Please, have you done this? Because it's just starting up. Can you see the stress? Can you see that you have to be very passionate to be able to achieve that? If you're not passionate about it, about the people you want to help, if you don't see this as a responsibility, trust me, you will get frustrated. And one other thing that I often tell myself is that this foundation, this this is a ministry, and this is the people that we are meeting and we are trying to help are like souls to me that I'm winning into the kingdom. So I see that, okay, if I can't go out every day to go and evangelize, I have the opportunities to souls that I can win to the kingdom. So I often tell volunteers that when you see these people, see, and you're a believer, see them as an opportunity to evangelize, to help them, to get bring them back into Christ, to make them understand Christ better and all that. So starting an NGO like this is starting an NGO like this is beautiful. It's very beautiful, but it's a lot of work. And you have to be very passionate. You have to be very ready to put in the work. And I would advise, if you have someone around that does something like this, you can just volunteer. You can have your own on the side and you volunteer just to see, okay, what are they doing? It's not to steal their concepts, but to have an idea of how to structure your own, what to do, how to do it, and the likes. I hope this has helped you, because this is really, really important before jumping into. Don't think funds will come. Don't think I will get grants. Don't think I have this uncle is going to help. Sometimes you might not get the help as much as you want. You might have to push. You have to reach out to people, have to sell, you have to speak to people about the importance of this that you're doing before they buy into it. Sometimes, most times, it is when the what you're doing has started growing. It is when the people start seeing. It is when people start seeing growth, start seeing the excellent work that you're doing before they want to recognize or be part of it, or even put their money in it and say, yes, so, people are before, yeah, I'm part of them, yes, I'm one of their sponsors. You know how people are. I hope this helps someone, that there is a lot of work to be done. There is a lot of work to be done. You need to start. God has given you that vision. Start. if if you feel that God has told you to still hold on, but while you're still holding, or while you're still waiting, you can start looking for how to be part of it. You can be a volunteer and be a remote and be an online volunteer, even though that is not sustainable. But if you can start from there, you can be a volunteer and say, okay, I want to be handling, let me help you post, let me help you do this, that it's on maybe practically online work, or let me be the one to help you call these people. You want to go to this school or this church, okay, I'll be the one handling your appointment, just so with that you will know the activities of, okay, this and this is how this is done and all that. I hope this has helped you. See you some other time. Bye.